If all of a sudden I had to start from zero and I forgot all the valuable lessons I learned in my life, these are 7 things I would want to be taught all over again. Number 1, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, okay? Whether that's your family, your friends, your relationship, whoever, okay? Keep in mind that you can look at someone who behaves badly, you can look at someone who engages in bad activities or is a bad influence and think, I'm not like that. Like, I know, like, yeah, this is my friend, this is my family, like, they're like that, but I'm not like that. You know, you can be very firm in your beliefs and stuff like that, and that's all okay, but keep in mind it takes one rotten apple to eventually rot the rest of the bunch. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to become that person, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with and you associate yourself with. Why would you even want to be the average of someone who inhibits bad behaviors? Why would you want to be the average of someone who doesn't look after themselves and doesn't care about themselves? Again, not because they're struggling and going through something and they need time to get out of it, but because they genuinely just don't care. Okay? Why would you want that for yourself? Lesson number 2. People love talking about themselves. You may hear that and you may think, okay, well, that is kind of selfish. Like, why are people so self-centered? I look at this as an opportunity to bond with people, because when you are quote unquote networking, people take that word and think, oh, I'm gonna fake pretend like I'm interested in you so I can get stuff out of you because I know you have something to offer. No. People love talking about themselves, and that is exactly why you ask them questions. You should be interested in the world around you. You shouldn't look at everything and every connection that you have as a selfish gain. Like, what can I get out of this person? No, you genuinely have interest and you genuinely have care for people, not for anything personal. If they are naturally inclined to want to help you and give you something because you have allowed them and given them space to talk about themselves, that is the cherry on top. It is not the thing that you are focusing on. You want to build lasting connections in this life, you ask questions about them. And if they want to ask questions about you, cool. Don't expect it. People love talking about themselves. Lesson number 3. What you water in this life is exactly what is going to grow, okay? A little bit of a gardening analogy here, but it is true. If you are, honing in on your physical health and you are going to the doctors daily and you're getting checkups for whatever you may need, if you're spending extra time at home researching what is going to help you, if you spend time, moving your body in meaningful ways, that is what's going to grow in your life. Life is not one of them things where you can just kind of sit out the window and be like, yeah, I would love $1 million, and it just falls into your lap. Anything that you ever want out of this life, there is a caveat to it, and you have to work for it. And working for it sounds a little bit like, oh, I don't know, it's like so much effort. Water it, then. Pour into it, then. Actually come from a place of love and not from a place of desperation when you want something, because desperation will only lead that thing to be further and further away from you. So what you water is exactly what's going to go. Sip of coffee. She's sweet. Number 4, people change, evolve, and their contract with you may even end at some point. Okay, you may be dwelling on the fact that a friendship no longer exists in your life, or you may be dwelling over the fact that you're not somewhere that you used to be anymore, or you're dwelling over the fact that, hey, I miss my ex. Like, it's been this amount of time and I miss the time we used to spend together. You have to realize that these people, they did not come into your life for no reason. Like, they came into your life to serve you something, to give you a lesson, to give you further insight and further clarity into what you want and also what you don't want. So don't look at these contracts, like the fact that this relationship has ended, as a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing. It is redirection now to where you are supposed to be going in your life. And keep in mind as well, people are allowed to change. If you have a friend and they have changed drastically, we can't really judge that because everyone is living this version of themselves for the first time. We can't judge, even if it's something we wouldn't do, even if it's something that we're jealous of that they're doing that we're too scared to do. don't judge them. That is their life. And because they are allowed to change, whether it's for the better or for worse, you are allowed to change. And hopefully you are changing for the better because you've made all these mistakes that have made you feel horrible. You don't want to go back to a place that's going to make you feel worse, right? Number 5, do something that scares you, okay? Some people may be thinking of adrenaline related activities that are risk taking for your life. No, you don't have to do anything that intense, but do something that scares you that you know will help you step into a more successful version of yourself. So for me, that's driving. Like, I've taken my lessons, and every time I go and drive somewhere that I'm not really familiar with, I'm stressed. But once I go home and I realize that I did it, I'm like, oh my God. And it's the same thing in social situations. If you're anxious socially, just do one thing. Just try to compliment one person a day. I've not had this happen to me where I've complimented someone and it's gone south. Like, they love to be complimented. And if people don't take the compliment, that's okay. Rejection is redirection, and you're gonna learn from every mistake you make. You're gonna learn from every mishap that you have in your life, because that is what it's there for, ultimately. Number 6, we still realize how far we've got left to go in life, but we don't take into account how far it is that we've already traveled to be where we are now. So that is the biggest thing. Like, you and me and everyone as humans, we're always like chasing something, right? And it's not necessarily bad to have ambitions and to go after things, but we need to take moments in life to just stop for a minute, okay? Stop for a minute and reflect on how far you've come in life, because we just have this feeling deep down that we've not achieved anything because we're not currently achieving something. But you have, and you need to realize that big time. Number 7, being educated is your superpower, okay? English is not my first language. Polish is my first language, and English is something that I still kind of struggle with sometimes, even though I've been, speaking it my whole life pretty much. But if it wasn't for, going to lessons and learning English or reading books in English all the time, I would not have the opportunity to speak on a platform where now English is considered the universal language. Like, most people are expected to speak English, even in schools where English is not the primary language. Being educated is your superpower. So it doesn't matter whether you go to school, to college, university, or you pay for online courses, or you pay for books, and you dedicate time each day to learn, whether it's 20 minutes, whether it's 2 hours. And for students, you're probably spending over 8 hours a day learning, which that in your heart, that is a lot for your brain. But it is your superpower. You may not realize it now, but every single day is an opportunity to learn. There is no such thing as being mastered in anything, because being mastered in something takes 10,000 hours, okay? 10,000 hours of your life. And even then, you could still be learning things. So if I forgot everything I've learned thus far in my life, those are the 7 things that I would really want someone to teach me. I hope this gave you some clarity. I hope this gave you some lessons on things you may have not have thought about before, or if you have thought about these before, that it's being re-emerged into your mind, and that you're carrying this with you as you go. And remember, take reign of your own life.